triple intent. There are secret alliances are there, which is especially made for the Germany and also against to the France. There are in triple alliance there are three states are there, which is Germany, Austria, and Italy. They are fought against the France. At the time of this time in 1882, there is a leader named Bismarck. Bismarck named there is a leader. He has been ruled as like a monarch. So that's what the Germany tried to maintain, tried to protect the peace in the state. That's what they made a triple alliance with the support of Austria and Italy. At the time in 1907, there are also triple intent also there with the with the support of France. There are Britain and Russia supported to the France. So at the time of initial stages, the ideology about nationalism has been developed during the First World War, and in the name of Hitler, they fought against these states, which is Britain and Poland, and also France. So at the time of World War I, there are extraordinary qualities and extraordinary diplomats also there to stop the war. After that only, many intellectuals like Woodrow Wilson and others has been started to establish a international institutions like League of Nations. They started in 1920 to control to control all the nations to avoid the war situations. If there is any conflicts or is there any misunderstandings between the border disputes or water disputes or any other diplomatic issues, they have to sit and discuss in the peaceful manner. That's what Woodrow Wilson started and motivated other international leaders to establish this type of international institution for the protection of the international peace and security. In the second stage after the First World War, the international relations has been focused about the current affairs in the name of international relations, and the studies did not develop any integral view. So after that second stage, in the third stage, covering the interwar period and also a little later developed legal moralistic approach towards the development of international institutions. So before fourth stage at the time of means which means between the First World War and Second World War, there are many conflicts and peace treaties has been made between the international relations in the name of peace protections. At the time of Woodrow Wilson period, he has been motivated many international intellectuals in the name of his ideals like protection of international peace and friendly relationship between the neighbors and all the nations in the world. So that's what with the spirit of Woodrow Wilson, they established League of Nations and other auxiliary bodies to protect the international peace. So in the fourth stage, witnessed a new approach, that is the study of the forces and influences that shape and determine international relations through foreign policies. After establishment of these League of Nations and other international institutions, many countries like even India and China, United States of America, Union Soviet Socialist Republic, that is Russia, like many other countries has been made their foreign policies towards the protection of the international peace and security. So in the fourth stage, the international institutions like League of Nations witnessed uh, to explain about the to avoid the war situations or conflicts between the many countries in the world. So the actual process that is taking place for solving conflicts and the efforts towards developing scientific studies on international relations also developed in this fourth stage. So post Second World War period witnessed the changed orientations and problems in the study of international relations. So at that time, after Second World War, which is happened between 1939 to 1945, after this Second World War, also made many changes, and there has been started to establish another one of the important international institutions, which is named as United Nations organizations, has been established after this Second World War. So at that time, after establishment of United Nations organizations uh, and uh, other bodies of UNO also made for the protection of international peace and security. After that, after the establishment of UNO, the changes has been made between the developed and underdeveloped nations too in the name of science and technology, and also it is stood for the decolonization and economic interdependence and national security problems and the contemporary issues of globalization, environmentalism, terrorism, and other issues also there. Even now, United Nations organization is stood for the protection of international peace and security. Even League of Nations also up to the starting of Second World War, which means from the 1920 to 1939, the League of Nations has been fought against these cruel systems and ideologies of developed nations and controlled the situations of international relations. So some of the modern political analysts added some more stages in which the study of international relations, but in this syllabus we have uh, almost 8 stages covered entire the international relations. But the study of international relations passed through different stages and look on different dimensions. In the present times, the study of international relations has become an interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary study. So the study of international relations is such a complex discipline, which means in this study of international relations, we are going to discuss about theories of international relations and also the scope of international relations. And also we are going to discuss about different foreign policies of various nations. And also we are going to discuss about international politics or foreign affairs. So generally, the nature of the study of international relationship is understood as the study about the nature of relations between nations, covering as many aspects of human life as possible and as many policies or strategies or programs as possible, all the being the means to attain human cooperation internationally for the development of human existence. This kind of the study deserves to be called international relations. According to Quincy Wright, defines that international relations means it is not only the nations which international relations seeks to relate. Varied type of groups, nations, states, governments, and peoples, and regions, and alliances, and confederations, and international organizations, even industrial organizations, cultural organizations, religious organizations, must be dealt with the study of international relations. So the study is sometimes called the study of relationship between the powerful nations. According to the modern political scientists, has uh, mentioned that United States of America and Russia, Britain, China, France, like many developed nations are called as powerful nations. So the study of international relations includes the study of international politics, international law, and international organizations, international economy, and also international ethics and the psychology and sociology of international relations. And also in international relations, we will discuss about world history and world political geography and political demography and technology as Quincy Wright understands it. So, such a study of international relations aims to describe or evaluate the conduct of those relations. So, many thinkers like Stanley Hoffman and Palmer and Perkins defines that the study of international relations encompasses much more than the relationship among nation states and international organizations and international groups. It includes a great variety of transnational relationships at various levels, above and below, and the level of the nation state, still the main actor in the international community. So the broad study of international relations is distinguished from the studies like politics. In common sense, the international relations means the international politics. So the latter, the study focuses on certain specific aspects of political life, which we will discuss about diplomacy and political relations between nations, and especially in relations to big nations. If we compare to the developed and underdeveloped nations, the America, China, and Britain, France, and Italy, and many other countries are more powerful than other countries in the name of economy, in the name of technology, in the name of financial conditions. But the political relations between the developed and underdeveloped and poor nations also common in the fields of international relations, because the United Nations organization is there for the protection of developed and underdeveloped nations, because in some situations or sometimes the developed nations are what we call powerful nations. Sometimes they may dominate the developed and underdeveloped nations in the name of help or in the name of any friendly relationship. They wanted to occupy the nations. If we take an example of India, the Britishers has been came here for in the name of trade. Later, they occupied the entire administration system and ruled over 200 years, and they moved many valuable things from the our nation. Here in international politics is concerned with the governmental relationships. So the study of international politics is historical, descriptive, and analytical. So if we discuss about the scope of the study of international relation, relations, it cannot be delimited because the subject matter and the scope of the study is very expansive. Relationship is there, and very new insights are seen into the international relationship. However, the core area has to be delineated, and the efforts towards identify the core areas began after the First World War and especially after the Second World War. So, if we discuss about these international relations between the nations after the Second World War and after the establishment of United Nations organization has been developed day to day in the name of trade relationship and in the name of imports and exports. If we discuss about the scope of the study of international relationship, we will discuss about the state system in the study of international relationship. International relations begins with and based on the study of state system. As we discussed after the 1648 Westphalian Treaty, there are many modern state system, modern sovereign state system has been established after the ancient times. In the medieval times, the state system has been begun, and the relationship between the neighbors and other nations has been started in the medieval period, which means in 17th and 18th century. Every political society or state is a sovereign body, and it has its own national interests to be fulfilled. So, according to the after the establishment of United Nations organizations, no one can enter into the other nations' sovereign power or other nations' political relationship. So, it is individuals who act in pursuance of their national interests. So, the existence of the state in terms of its strengths and weaknesses, or alliance, or enmity, or neighborhood, and so on, it is to be thoroughly understood before its relations with other states are studied. So, that's what in our relations, which means in Indian relationship, no state cannot interrupt in our administration system, or India cannot enter into the other nations' relations. So, in this study of scope of international relations, we will discuss about the general and diplomatic history. Every sovereign state has its own history in terms of diplomatic and international relationship with other states. So, in friendship or enmity, because we are having many friendly relationship with neighbors, and also we are having some sorts of enemy relationship with, for example, Pakistan or China or Nepal and Sri Lanka. Sometimes we are having some border disputes, but we are maintaining friendly relations between the neighboring states. So, the efforts of outstanding diplomats or political leaders in promoting or developing the relations with the other states always from the background for the study of present times. And also in international relations, we are going to discuss about the relations in conflicts and cooperation. In many states relationship, there are some conflicts are there, and also at the same time they are maintaining cooperation between the neighboring states and other states. The relations between states depend upon several factors like historical, geographical, social, religious, ideological, strategic, and leadership. These relations exist in terms of cooperation and conflict. Some kind of relationship in cooperation and some in conflict, sometimes favorable, sometimes constant, and sometimes unfavorable, and so on. Sometimes the relationship with other states may be unpredictable in nature, because we are having enemy relationship with Pakistan in the grounds of border disputes at the place of Kashmir issue. And also we are having friendly relationship with the same state in terms of imports and exports. According to the international law and order, we are having a friendly relationship with the neighboring states. In a way, cooperation and conflict are the two sides of the same coin called international relations. So, and also we are going to discuss about the power politics between the nations in this study of international relations. In the post-Second World War period, there are many scholars discussed about the ideologies, and there are several ideology-based schools are there. If we take an example of realist school or the school of realism, according to this school, the Marganto has been significant contributor. Politics in general and international politics in particular is power politics. He wrote in his book Power Among Nations. He has been discussed about the international relations is mainly about power politics, where power is understood as men's control over the minds and actions of other men. So, according to the Marganto, the mutual relations are of control among the holders of public authority and between the latter and the people at large. Power is a means used to achieve the goals called national interests. So it is not that Markanto is pessimistic to consider all sorts of relations to be coming under politics. So, and also in international relations, we will study about the study of international system. So the international relations consider states as existing in the international system. The word system refers to a state of condition as framework under which the concerned state or states exist in the pursue their interests. So, like ancient China, Mughal India, Imperial Rome are the example of this international state system. But the classification of states into systems took on new terminology. Bipolarity or multipolarity or regional subsystems like South Asia, West Asia are the present day systems. Bipolarity means two-state alliance. Multipolarity means two or more than two states alliance. So, in other context, the comparative politics and systems are democratic and non-democratic. So, and also in international relations, we will discuss about geopolitics. Geopolitics is defined as the science of the relationship between the space and politics. This is considered to be broader than political geography, which is descriptive. So, the study or knowledge of geopolitics becomes necessary for pursuing one's international interest. According to Palmer and Perkins says, undoubtedly the struggle for space and power over the vast land and sea regions and perhaps in outer space as well will be a central theme in the international relations of the future. It is known to everyone that the rise of Hitler and Mussolini depended upon their misuse of the knowledge of geopolitics. So, and also in the study of international relations, we are going to discuss about war and peace. In international relations, we are going to discuss about the war and peace are the old phenomena as the state itself, because the entire international relationships relations will be discussed as before World War and after World War. Like the war, the term or the phenomena of this war condition is important in this international aspect. Any war has to come to an end and followed by some condition of peace. That's what after the Second World War, we have established the United Nations organization. The India also one of the founding member of United Nations organization. It is especially established for the protection of international peace and security. It has been rightly said that war is preparation for peace and peace is preparation for war. So, and also in international relations, we will discuss about the conflict management and conflict resolutions, because there are many conflicts are there in the name of water disputes, or in the name of geographical boundary disputes, or any other conflicts are there between the states. At that time, the United Nations and other international organizations are uh, there for the resolve these conflicts by approaching their leaders, or they may send mediators to resolve that issue. So the study of conflict management or resolution is important for the to avoid the situations of war conditions. Almost every aspect of international relationship is being studied from the point of view of conflict management only, not just to overcome and the expected unexpected contingencies, but also to plan for long-term policy. And also, there are several ideologies also there. If we take an example of United Nations, United States of America is adopted capitalist ideology, and Russia adopted socialist ideology. Like many ideologies like liberalism, capitalism, socialism, communism, fascism, Nazism were the competent ideologies in the 20th century, and almost all problems in international nature in that century were the outcome of such conflicting ideological commitment in the theory and practice. So, and also many ideologies like nationalism, colonialism, and imperialism also we will discuss in this concept of international relationship. So nationalism is one of the significant factors that caused the decline and end of colonialism. And also uh, in the study of international relationship, the national interest is almost the central point of the study of international relations. Every nation has its own interests or goals, which again will be a different forms changing in intensity and urgency. And also in the study of scope of international relations, we will discuss about the different states' foreign policies. Foreign policy mainly speaks about the manner in which relations with other nations are to be pursued. So every nation has its own foreign policy. It is established for their peaceful relationship between other nations. And also we will discuss about national charter, we will discuss about policy making, and there are several psychological factors and economic factors also there in international relationship. And also there are democratic factors and military strategic actors also there. And also we will discuss about the arms control and disarmament to avoid the war situations. So arms control is important for the avoid of war situations in every nations. So, and alliance and groupings also we will discuss about these international relations. So after the Second World War, there are many international organizations and regional organizations also established for the regional, in the name of regional cooperation, like Asian, SAARC, and European Union also there. Many regional organizations also established for the peaceful relations between the nations. So this is the introduction and the scope of international relations. In In next class, we are going to discuss about the sovereign state system and state actors, and also we are going to discuss about the colonialism, the concept of colonialism. Thank you for your participation. Tomorrow, there is no delay for our class. Today, we have faced a technical issue. Thank you for your participation. I am concluding the session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir.
Jai Hind.